This is tutorial 9-3. In this tutorial we're going to be using the join table, spatially joining, intersect tool, and we're also going to be creating some fields and using the field calculator in order to show a connection between undereducated populations of adults and assault crimes. So the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be opening up our tutorial file. And we're going to open up the attribute tables for tracks. And this is where we have our population of people 25 and older. And this is the population of people 25 and older who did not finish high school. In some areas you can see that it's a small percentage, in others it's about half. Then we're going to open up our lake block centroids. And what this is basically this is our census data for the area. We have population broken up into different age groups, genders, race, and so on. So we're just going to close that now. And we're going to be using our intersect tool first. There's two ways of getting this. You can use Windows and go to search, type it in here, and click on the resulting tool down here. Or, as we learned in chapter 8, we can click on geoprocessing and just click on intersect. And up here we're going to be joining car beats to tracks. What this is going to do is you're going to leave all this the same, but we're going to rename it and save it somewhere else. Tutorial 9 geo database is probably the best place to do it. And you're going to have to name it what I name it because we're going to be doing a lot of joining, so it might be confusing if you give it a different name. And I'm just calling it intersection underscore car beats and tracks. Then we're going to save that. This all stays the same. Click OK. Now what this is going to do is it's going to create a polygon shape that is of the tracks within the car beats. And the car beats are this black thick lines, and the tracks are the tiles. So as you're going to see in a few seconds, it's going to pretty much clip these little edges off. See, if I turn off tracks, there we go. And as you can see, it gave us our little, it worked. Okay, now with that done, we can move on. And we're going to do that by spatially joining car beats and tracks with the population centroid up here that we have, our census data. So we're going to click on lake block centroid. We're going to go to joins and relates, and we're not going to be doing a table but another feature class, so we have to use the second option, and we choose which one we want. It's our newly created class feature, and we're going to want to name this join intersection block centroids. Then we're just going to click OK. And what this is going to do now is it's going to give us, if we open this up, you can see that now we have all our census data plus everything from our car beats and tracks in one place. And these dots right here are the center of every census collection area. The ones that are close together are pretty much urban areas where there's a lot of people. These dots that are pretty much by themselves are probably industry or rural areas. So now what we're going to do is we're going to join this, join intersection census or block centroid to a table now. So we're going to go back to joins and relates, click on join, and we're going to be doing it to a table. This sum age 22 plus. And if we were to open up both of these, we'd find that they both share track IDs. So we're just going to scroll down until we find it, and it's right here, tracked ID. It automatically picked it, but if not, you just click on that and choose it. Then we just click OK. And as you can see, it didn't create a new feature class this time. It just joined that table to that feature class. Now, if we were to shut this program down, that join would not be saved. So what we have to do is we have to right click on join intersection block centroid. Got to go to data, and we have to export it. And we're going to name it block centroid final. Then we're going to click OK. And we're going to add it to our table. And if we open this up now, this will have the attribute tables of our like block centroid, our car beats, our tracks, and our sum age 22 plus table. And we can use this file in the future without having to do all those joins. Now, we're going to be adding two new fields, one weight and one is under ed. So the first one, we're going to do weight, and it's going to be a float type. And the other one is under ed, and it's also going to be a float. And if we scroll all the way over, we see our new fields. So we're going to right click on weight, we're going to go down to field calculator, and our first field that we're going to choose is the age 22 plus field, which is this one right here, and we're going to divide it by the sum of the age 22 plus. So this is going to give us a percentage. And we're just going to click OK. Okay, now with that done, we're going to right click on under ed, go to field calculator. We're going to clear our previous one, and we're going to go down to weight, and then we're going to do multiply it by our no high school. Then we're going to click OK. Your field should look like this right here. And now we're going to scroll over until we find track ID, and we're going to summarize. And we're going to summarize based on what we just created. We're going to go down to weight, open it up, and we're going to click on sum. And then we're going to click OK. Now this did nothing in here, but what it did do was it created this right here, which I'm just going to rename sum weight by tract. And you could have done that when we were doing our summarization. We're going to open it, as you can see, we have some numbers here. Now what this is saying is for each one of these tracks, which is these little segments right here, if it's 1, it means that that track is 100% within a car beat. If it's not, like as you can see there's a 0.99, that means that a majority of that tract is within a car beat. The 0.73 is most of it is. This 0.38 means that quite a bit of it is outside of the tract, which is probably this one or this one. Now with that done, we're going to close this attribute table, and we're going to sum up the undereducated population by car beat. So we're going to right click on our block centroid final, open up the attribute table, we're going to find the beat field, and it's right here. We're going to summarize. We're going to go down to where it's under ed, and we're going to click on sum. In here, like I forgot to do last time, we're going to name it here, and we're just going to call it sum underscore under education. Or undereducated. Then we're going to click OK, and we're going to add it to our table. Close that and open this one, and as you can see, it gives us what car beats there are and how many people are in there. As you can see, it's not whole numbers. This first one where it's 0 and 0, we don't need to concern ourselves with that. Later on, that'll be taken care of. So what we're going to do is we're going to join the sum uneducated to the car beat layer. So we're going to right click on car beats, we're going to go to joins, and it's going to be a table. So we just choose beat, we come down here to sum undereducated, we choose beat, and we're only going to keep the matching records. This will get rid of those zeros that were in there. And click OK. Click yes. That option will pop up whenever you say not to keep all the records. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to turn off all these class features except for car beats, streets, and assault offenses. Now, what they want us to do is they want us to go into the properties table for car beats, go to quantities, graduated colors, we're going to use our sum of undereducated. They want us to change the classification to quantile, 5 breaks, click OK, then click OK again. And you should get a map like this. Now by doing all those intersections and joins, and we're able to create a map that shows that in these car beats, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, that populate areas where there's large populations of undereducated adults is a high encounter of assault offenses. So that is it for tutorial 9-3.